So it's Women's History Month, and we thought it was the perfect time to sit down and chat with Alexis Thurston, co-founder of Danger Jones. And Alexis, do you want to introduce yourself or anything else?
Sure. I'm co-founder of Danger Jones. I'm also the CPO, and CPO is just a fancy way of saying Chief Product Officer. And what my role is I'm in charge of all products that we create, both in hair and fashion, et cetera. I also want to just point out that Stevie is our president of Danger Jones. Why don't you talk a little bit about what is different between a president and a CEO of a company?
Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to answer that before this role. But what it is for us here, I would say that our CEO, David Thurston, he is
my husband.
That's right. He is a big visionary, right? And he has a ton of ideas, and he's really paying attention to what's happening out there. And I really am a part of connecting with him. We're lucky that we think a lot alike. We've worked together a long time, and just have a lot of alignment like naturally. And so it's great. I hear his vision, and I really try to like keep all the trains moving in the right direction and bring it to life if we can.
And you pointed out Salons Direct, and that's our distributor and one of our distributors in the UK, and they are fabulous. We've known them for, I don't know, maybe 6-8 years. And what really attracted us to them as a company culture and their brand is that it is a company founded and run by mostly women as well. You know, you have Danielle, you have Gemma. The first time I went to their headquarters, I was stunned that I look around and I just see women.
Tell about the time that you were at another headquarters and you looked around and saw the opposite thing. And
I've seen that many times, because I am a hairstylist and a salon owner. And so my journey to where I am right now as a co-founder and CPO of a company is totally different. We can talk about that a little bit later. But because of that journey, I didn't have a background, a business degree. I don't have a chemistry degree. I don't have the same kind of titles that a lot of other people do in my role. And being in these biggest boardrooms that I've ever been in, or in situations where it's mostly men, it is a weird feeling sometimes when they don't make eye contact. They look to David and when they're asking a question, but David is also a very female-centric person. He's definitely a feminist. And he would always say, I don't know, ask her. You're asking the wrong person. You should be directing that question to her.
so you had also mentioned about how you don't have the background, the typical degrees, all of that. So what do you think that means for our brand? Because actually, you're not the only one, right?
No.
My background was criminology, which we don't use much here. But we have a lot of our team that are that way, don't have a background in the roles, right? So what do you think why and the benefit or drawback? How do you see it?
I actually do see it as a benefit. And the reason why is because you don't have expectations of like, oh, this can't be done, or this is the way that you do things, because it helps to have like no ceiling, no cap, no frame of reference.
The idea is just, you create art for yourself. You're doing what you love and making something you feel is inspiring and beautiful. And then you put it out there, and that's all you've got. You can't control how people react. You certainly don't want to be building for them, because that is commerce. And certainly brands are doing that. And actually, there's no judgment there. That's great. That's what they do. But it's a different purpose. They're making something that they think someone else is going to like, and you just don't have that same kind of love and passion in that. It's like a completely different job, so to speak. I feel like I don't have a job. We don't have a job.
Yeah, but also you have no competitors that way.
That's
because
right.
If you're just making things for yourself, it's like you're not looking around at what other people are doing, because it's what you're doing, and that's Danger Jones. I love our beauty industry so much, and I feel like I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, because for so many reasons. But number one, I think that hairstylists are, generally speaking, very positive people, very optimistic people, very welcoming people, very open-minded. And not only do they love to connect with their clients and have that special relationship that you have with your clients, but also connect with the bigger community as a whole. And so at Danger Jones, we really try to unify the beauty community in different ways. And I would say some of the biggest ways that we do that is by some of the events that we do. We just had our first annual Danger Fest down in Mexico where 100 stylists came. And it wasn't about educating so much with hair. That was a small portion of it, although we had 2 really great educators there. It was more about leveling up you and yourself and your business as a human. The question always goes to women, which is so ridiculous because it comes from the antiquated idea that, oh, women should stay at home and how do you balance it? Women are the home takers or caretakers and all of that. Balance means equal. And you're striving for something that is totally unachievable. You cannot balance it. It just doesn't exist. And so why even have that question out there? Because you're just setting people up for unrealistic expectations that you're going to fail at. And the truth is that it's the pursuit that makes it interesting.
And you're never going to fill all those buckets.
Never
right?
going to fill it.
That's the point, is you'll always have something else to strive for. I think in fact, your husband has given me many times the advice, like, don't be all in career bucket, because I tend to like hyper focus. But I thought it was some of the best advice I got, because when I did like diversify my buckets, I realized I really enjoyed it also. You know, like you think you're like only want one thing, and then you start striving for something else. And you're like, wow, that's fulfilling too. And you have so much more that you want to go after. And it's a good thing to have more to go after, right?
I agree, but I also think that kind of stepping away from what you're working on gives you helps your mind to kind of be open to new ideas and explore new things. And I'm a very curious person by nature, and I think you are as well. And I don't know if that's an Aquarius trait because we're both Aquarius. Our birthdays so close to each other. However, I do think that having that space to step away, it actually does free your mind to kind of, like, oh, that problem you were working on, maybe the idea and the solution came to you in a different way. And there is scientific research on this actually, and how to remember things is to not by sitting there for 2 hours trying to memorize it. It's like little bits at a time and stepping away. And so, you do have to have those moments to kind of diversify what you're doing in your life. You already know.
Well, we're going to show people.
No, but for those who don't know, I would be a race car driver.
F1.
Yeah, I'm coming for you, Verstappen. I love it. I love it so much. I had a chance to drive a car on a racetrack, and it unlocked something in me that I never even knew I had. And so I feel like, I even said to my daughters, I'm like, I screwed up as a mom because I should have put you in go-kart racing. Because now you would be in Formula One.
We don't always know what's like right around the corner. That's like our Jane Jones life. You don't know what's coming next all the time, but that's the fun of it, right? And I feel like we enjoy the ride, and we're doing everything we love, and what comes next is going to be fun too.
Yeah, it's really kind of, there's so much opportunity, and there's some things that we do know that are coming next. For example, permanent color. But
just throw that in.
You just throw that in there. But I think what's great about our company is, we're about 20 employees and we're nimble. And so we can pivot quickly, which is unlike a big company. And so it's kind of coming up with these fun brainstorming ideas of, let's try to do this. Let's do this. Like, this sounds interesting. And being able to pivot quickly and make things happen, I think, is part of the magic with our whole team. And I agree, there's not, not knowing exactly what's around the horizon is part of the excitement.